Welcome on the show. Umusepela.
Hey, brah.
Ulishan.
Proper. As we can see, brah.
Yeah.
New vibes. To vibes. So love.
Don't do rhymes, man. Don't do rhymes.
What's that rapping?
Yeah. How are you doing, though?
I'm good, brah. I'm good.
How's everything going on your side, man?
I can't complain. We are grateful that we're alive and we're still doing what we love. So all praises to God.
The lion in the building.
Wagwan.
How you doing?
Proper, man.
Vindu vyenda bwanji kaya 20.
If I've been to very chair. Every day above the ground is a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, before everything else, we all start complaining about, apa kulibe wauka wasana so mbera na mpamvu mukwanja nishi life really well.
Ipicha nyo zona chamene cha tenga che social media abantu bakambapo che
Chuchnya files.
na chemistry. And the reason why we decided to get to play the Black Jesus, I feel like we need to get back to the originality. Some of us, we just say, maybe just explain to the viewers who are watching this show, basically, why the EP, why Umusepela Chile?
Yeah, so the EP, it takes me about 2 years or more, maybe this time around is a long period of time before I release an album, because, you know, I like to put a lot of thought album. So I'm thinking my next album should be out next year or the year after, but I wanted to release a series of EPs. So these EPs, you know, this is going to be 13 years in the industry, like this year. You know, 13 years of you know, being relevant. And I wanted to take the people back to where it all began. And that's Charleston. I grew up in Charleston. When I was very young, I stayed in Vilawanga, that's Avondale area. Then we moved to Charleston, then I moved to Avondale, then I moved back to Charleston. So I just wanted to, you know, share some of the stories that make Jay who Jay is today. And I think most of us, you know, when we grow up, life ya chinja that you forget you know, but it's important to go back and say, why do I behave like this? Why is this important to me? Because some of the key things that happened when I was young really made me, decisions I made, experiences I went through, made the artist that a lot of people know as J-Rocks today. So I figured it's good to do a series of EPs. So by series we mean like volumes. So volume 1 featuring one artist, volume 2 featuring one artist, volume 3 featuring one artist. So it just felt right to get the first one done with Chile, because I think Chile understands the creative space, where I'm at when it comes to music. And then also, I think I knew he was going to deliver something that's very different. You know, he's got his own way of viewing things, but I did have conversations. We've been having a lot of conversations about life, what's happening, what's changing, where we're going. A lot of people don't know this, but Chile, I'm a book. I'm a book. So but you know, so sharing books, sharing certain things, and just talking about where you coming from and what does your background mean to you. So I felt like a Head from Music artist would be the right artist to start the series of EPs.
Are you going to be doing these volumes that you have decided to come up with? Like, for example, you decided to put Chile One in the first volume, more with the people that are under Head from Music?
No, it's not more.
So it's unexpected?
Yeah, it's unexpected. The next one is going to feature an artist that I haven't recorded a song with, and it's big.
I'm imagining Tommy D in the next one.
He told me.
It's a song.
Told me kuimba nyimbo ya Ntifani Kotaya.
Not EP.
You know what I mean? So there's definitely I don't want to preempt, but just know that Tommy haven't got these chat. Puma kaliza azi wanozia Ntifani Kotaya. No le nikaliza cha azi wanozia Ntifani Kotaya. So there's definitely going to be some stuff that we're going to be working on. But there's the series of EPs. We didn't want them to be predictable. So it's an artist that we've never heard J rocks with this artist. Then they get on a project, like maybe 5, 6, 7 songs, and they get them done together. So people should just be on the lookout. But
Chile
very
One,
soon.
Chile, Umusepela Chile. I was coming to that, man, because I want to find out this question. There's been brand misunderstanding between your name and other names. This is the conversation that we have had several times with you.
Yeah.
Because even me, I almost said Chile One.
Yeah.
There's also Umusepela Crown.
Yeah.
I understand this because I'm on media.
Yeah.
There's also you, Umusepela Chile.
Yes.
There's Crown as well.
Yeah.
All these brands are different brands. I've
Yeah.
never heard another J Rocks.
Yeah.
But I've heard some JJJ somewhere.
Yeah.
So all these things, man, how have you been handling it so far on your side, making sure that your brand just stands out, and for people that don't understand, because these are things that we get on radio, someone who misunderstands your name and just saying Bembako nyimbo ija ya Umusepela Crown instead of putting your name in between.
You know, PMC, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, we're all gonna die, bruh.
That sounds deep, man.
Yeah, it is. It's just a name, and what I'm trying to put out there, it's my story. And somebody who follows me has no struggle to locate me. You get? I focus on myself, not because I'm selfish, but because I believe I'm the one who can tell the whole truth. So to me, it's not even about which name, what, it's about my story. And a true follower, I would rather have 10 followers who are like true followers than have a bunch of people who are not sure. You understand? I feel I have a gift which somebody out there can benefit from, and that's all I gotta do. I just have to deliver it like the way I was sent to. I don't care which name they tag to, but as long as a true follower is going to find out, like, oh, this is this. You know, it's like Chinese. We look at Chinese people. They look similar, innit? But they know themselves. You can tell that is the mother to that one. And you'll be like, oh, really? I thought it's a family. You understand? So at the end of the day, is the story and the true followers that you have. None of this matters, bruh.
Let's talk about the opportunity that you've been given, man. We're talking about someone who has so much experience in the industry. J-Rocks is not like a new name. He decides to say, let me start an EP
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
as Umusepela Chile. Like, I'm trying to understand how, when he approached you, did he approach you? How was the like? What's the story behind the EP? Something that we're talking about today, the agenda.
You know, I don't like the word approach. I feel he kind of carried me. You understand? I see it that way, because to me, the conversation that we get to have with J-Rocks is not where like, hey Chile, hey, wait, hey. So no, it's where it's more like, what space are you into? Be like, oh, I'm just. Sometimes you pull up at our place and find me. Maybe I'm just all messed up with. I have my beards on. It's just be like, what's going on? I'm like, this is just the space I'm into. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I hope you explore that experience. So him telling me to come on it. It wasn't like, oh, Chile. So no. It was more like, hey, I have this project and this is what I'm working on. What do you think? And I was like, this is great. I would love to tell my story on such a project. And it was like, oh yeah, sure, you can come on. You understand? It's more like an invitation. Because I learn a lot from Jay, not because he's here. Call me again, I'll come and say the same things. So I learn a lot, and every beat, every second that I'm with Jay, I don't waste it, bruh. Because I know there are hundreds of artists up and coming down there, we're just wishing 1 second with Jay. And I have all this opportunity to learn from him, and him jumping me on the EP. It's just another base of lessons. I look at it as lessons. It's teaching me, it's showing me. It's like a father who was brought this kid and was like, hey, here's your auntie, here's your uncle, let's go, we visit this place. So all these things are things I'm going to tell the next generation that is coming, and another artist that I'm going to pull up also. I'll be like, oh, I was a very good student, not a follower. Be a good student as well.
Is there anything that you'd like to also talk about in regards being an independent artist now signed under Headphone Music that you feel like you've learned so far? That you feel like people out there, like people want to be like you. You know, you are the inspiration to the society. Somewhere.
I had so much thoughts when Xerox called me. Because he called me, I think I stayed like a month, yeah?
Yeah.
He called me, and then I was just there thinking.
I've never met like a very defensive person like the way Chile was like, man. You ever been in a situation where muntu mwangati anamenyewa wama menya in manjo wa bomitana aganzati nienda kumenyewa. So I want no funga kudara. So I said, relax. It's not that type of party, you know.
Yeah. So this is one thing that a lot of people don't know. They are not decided. You know, PMC, I would rather submit to one man and learn than act like I don't want to learn from people and I'm all over. You understand? Then it's more like I'm a prostitute. In life, you have to find a space. Whether you are an independent, there's nothing like independence out there, bruh. People act independent when they're talking, but in inboxes they're bootlicking. I would rather bootlick to one man than bootlicking to a lot of people. You understand? The fact is, someone is going to help you, and it depends on who. And if you decide it's going to help you more because you are building something together, then today I'm talking to you, today I'm talking to this one. You know, this industry is full of, you're chilling with that guy, bruh, then do your thing. So imagine you have chilled with so many people. I'm not saying don't say hi, don't chill with people. There's a way of chilling that I'm talking about, which most of people understand out there. So there's this thing that people out there are saying, I'm independent. But let's check your inbox, bro. Are you independent? Or you just want people to see that you're independent? So, in short, just because I face the facts, it's all about facing your fears. People are just scared to decide. And a person who has not decided, it's sad for them to grow. Even people, marriages grow because you have decided to be with somebody. You can't be promoted when you're working everywhere. You have to find where to work, and then that dedication, you work here. But if you're all over, you'll be like, bro, we wanted to promote you, but who are you with? It's a world of competition, and you have to make a decision on where you're going to stand. When you make a decision today, I'm comfortable with what Headphone has to offer, and I don't look elsewhere. I don't look on another person's plate. But if I'm all over today, I'm with you, today I'm with this one, I'm like, Headphone didn't offer me this. So you aren't decided. At the end of the day, you find that you have grown old and you have done nothing in this industry. I don't know if it's making sense out there, but I've said my own.
I know. Let me ask Jay a very, I don't know if I can say a silly question, but something that I want to get to find out from you. Would you take offense if people start doing a comparison? You've been in the industry for a long time, but you know, fans sometimes can be different, where they start doing comparisons, saying, would rather see Umusepela Chile not Xerox on stage.
Bruh, if only the guys could tell you how many times I've said, bruh, I've performed everywhere. I've performed on all the big stages in Zambia. And I've been telling these guys to focus because I can't wait to be in the background having my gin watching you guys perform, because it's about time. You understand? So if people say they want to watch Umusepela Chile perform, bruh, that would be like the happiest day. The day they want to see Jedi perform before they get called J-Rocks, I'll be very happy, because then it means we've done what we need to do. We're in the business of delivering people to where they need to go. So if people say they want Chile to perform, that would be a good day, because then it means that's a day off for me and I get to watch. I've spent most of my 13 years on stage that I don't even get to see how it feels like to be on the other side, watching someone that you know, someone that inspires you. You understand? So it would be nice to be on the other side and say, let's go, my guy, do what you gotta do. So I don't think I can be offended by those things. I'm not that type of a person. I think people that know me understand that I'm not like that. It's not about, it doesn't have to be about Jay. It's not all the time that it has to be about Jay. It's only that sometimes I need to do what I have to do to make sure that I position Headphone Music and make sure that it's relevant as we are waiting for the people that need to carry it to the next generation to do what they have to. Yeah.
Run us through the current EP, maybe basically the songs, the inspiration, the titles of the songs.
Yeah, so EP is titled Chuchnya Files. That's the other name for Charleston. We need people to know that Charleston is Chuchnya.
I need someone to pronounce it for me.
The same way. the same way Chawama is Chawizi.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So people need to know. Chawizi, those are my people. So we have Fake Friends. There's a song titled Fake Friends there. And I think it's self-explanatory. Everyone has experienced fake friends. I think on that song, I had to hold back names, but I shared a story that's like everything I said on that song is very true. You know, we know those guys were guys in Mzako, machinga na eve, but I angolanga na gero yako, side, amopeleka message, but sazi wati gero yako uzanje, muntu wako abwera panga chongo. You know, those are things I've been through. There's some guy that I did a business deal with. I put my weight, did what I needed to do. We started going out there talking about him being the one that made everything work. Typical people, you know. Men nowadays have become, I don't want to say like women because I respect women, but men are just not what they're supposed to be. I've got no time to be discussing and talking about things that don't make sense. So Fake Friends talks about all the fake people, fake experiences you've been through. Then we've got Stubborn in Achiloto. Stubborn in Achiloto, I think it's a good it's a good definition of my story. I've been very stubborn, brah. I came into the industry at the time when I remember early days, brah. Coming from school and I was listening to one of Tommy D's old songs, and Zambian hip hop right at the time was just, it was there, but you know, it was just, it didn't have a lot of people, you know, like most of the hip hop artists that we had at the time were brave and they just decided to get this thing done, but we didn't know how far it was going to go. You know, I used to listen to Tommy D's songs. I remember listening to when Slap came on, I was like, yeah, we're finally going somewhere. But the type of hip hop that I was doing at the time was very different, to the point where I remember there's a DJ that I know, and I don't think he remembers this, but it's a guy that I talk to now. I used to give him my CDs, and this guy would call me. I'll call him, say, bruh, I haven't heard the song on radio. And this guy would tell me, bruh, you need to bring another CD because my son was playing with your CD. And you understand?
Yes!
That's the type of space we're coming from. A space where we used to burn CDs. I have 50 CDs in my bag every Saturday. I never had anything to do. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we used to be at arcades or moving with CDs and giving people. When Facebook came, bruh, we used to have CDs with the Zone Farm Facebook name and the MP3. We're burning on my MP3 and giving people, to the point where Zambian hip-hop is what it is today. People had to accept that sound. And we contributed, we changed quite a number of things about the industry. I don't want to get into those things. But, you know, coming from a space like that, it means you have to really be a stubborn person to get in a space where you're not accepted. People don't want you. They feel like you don't belong in this room. Performing at Nipa, Miss Nipa, Mwafika bakuzani bwena 20 hours. Kusta performing as 4:30. Nishibantu baambapo ndipo mgena pa stage. That's the type of space that we're coming from. So you have to be a stubborn person with a dream to come in a room like that and say, I am going to contribute to this thing and change it. You understand? From a space like that to winning awards outside, to being in the industry for this long, I think you have to be stubborn.
Yeah. I have two questions for you before we call it a wrap, because time is not on our side.
Yeah.
Two questions. The first one, there's been a rumor that's been going on that Headphone Music, you as a CEO, you want to sign Chile One. The second question is also, why is J-Rocks doing so much for Umusepela Chile?
Okay. This is very interesting. The rumor is a very interesting one. Where it's coming from, I don't know, because the conversation was had between me and Chile One. So to hear about it being a rumor is just very sad.
Is it true or false?
we had a conversation.
Okay.
The conversation was not to sign Chile One, but to try and figure out a way of, because he told me he wanted to get a video done. You understand? And I said, we can get stuff done, but it has to be under certain structure. You understand? So it's not like I'm saying, come, we sign you. It's we can work, but this is how things have to work. So to hear about this from a conversation that was had man to man is very sad. I think I need to be in a space where people respect certain conversations. So that one, I'll put it in the bag. I've got no interest to talk about such things, because if you and me have a conversation and it comes out there, then it means you're not man enough to deal with the conversation and close it, that you can take it elsewhere. So I'll put that on the side. Then with Chile, headphone music artists have been releasing songs after songs, EPs. Upfront Films has funded so many videos that artists have done. So if we put in the same amount of money in your project, and then we put in the same amount of money in Chile's project, and Chile's project takes off. From a business perspective, what do? The money is being spread and things are being done for everyone, but we also need to be very realistic to say, this is working, so let's focus here and make it work, as you are trying to work on yourself and do what you have to do, but we've released quite a lot. So when I say rumors, for me, I hear rumors, I think it's better to say, you heard from this person and this person. Because it sounds like it's the artist or whoever is saying they're doing what they're saying.
It's like I'm putting it in a phrase saying, I'm giving a report saying unconfirmed report. It's another way of me saying...
Yeah, so when you say unconfirmed, and this is why I'm giving...
So this is why I want you to confirm about it, because social media will write about it.
So social media, I don't care about social media, because it's a small little boy in a room with nothing to do and time on his hands. Instead of making money, that will post something and people will pick it up and say, oh, this is what it is. You understand? But in a room with people that are organized and proper people, I can have conversations. So whatever is on social media, I never really care. Because most of the times you get so agitated by a message that a person that's in a room with nothing, you don't even have lunch or anything, is frustrated, is having a bad day, and you post something and then I get agitated because you haven't had food. So I've got no time for those things. But I'd like to discuss facts. And if we're going to have a conversation about, oh, why is it that maybe Chile has released more songs than these other artists? Then I can pull out receipts to say, oh, but these also are other artists. We put in the same amount of resources and they put out this many songs, even more songs than this guy. You understand? Then we've got also another artist where we've pumped in even maybe more than this artist. But it's just worked because maybe it's more relatable to the masses right now. You understand? So if we pull out facts like that, you start to find to say, we've done what we can. And we're doing what we can for the people that we have. But it's also the artist's understanding to say, if you want to be relatable to the people, you also need to work on yourself and how you message what you're doing. You understand? So it's also learning to get guidance. To what level are you willing to be guided? You understand? It's not every person that will say, oh, guide me and help me get into this direction. It's not every person. Some people will be in a space where they're like, okay, I want to go this side, but I think I'll figure it out. So I just need you to help me open the door, but I'll walk. And then there are those people that will say, I want to go there, but show me, how did you manage to walk? Oh no, do it like this. You understand? So if we're working on a project with Chile, right? He would tell me, say, I want to work on a project, and then he tells me to say, can you be the executive producer of the project? You understand? Then I'm like, oh, it means I need to have some sort of, I'll have a say on what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's like, yeah, sure. So we start now, for example, Son of Man, right? We started from the production. What do we need? We need this type of beats. We need this type of sound. Oh, this type of sound. Okay, I know the person. Oh, what are we going to do in terms of the EP name? He suggested EP names. Oh, this one I don't think it will work. This one I think it will. This one I don't think. The artwork, you understand? So it's like the whole lot of the stage. You're helping someone get to what they need to do.
Due to time, yeah, due to time, I know this is like a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But due to time, Chile, I would also want to find out the EP is out.
Yeah.
I want to find out where people can access the EP, some details that you feel they need to know about it, just some few other information.
Okay, so the EP is out, and you can access the EP on all digital platforms. I mean, people have been talking about this, man. So you can have it on all digital platforms. You Zambians, you're too clever. You know these things. So I shouldn't even mention. You can go on our social media handles. That is Umusepela Chile. Or you can, if you don't find it there, you can go on Xerox or on those pages. You can also find all those information. Or just search for Chuchinya Files EP or Xerox featuring Umusepela Chile, and you'll find it everywhere.
Amazing. Jay, is Headphone Music open for any other artist?
This is what I'm going to say. And I'll say
in a minute.
I'll say it live on TV.
Yes.
Do you know what it takes for a person to decide to say we're going to pick up people and build them? We don't pick up established artists. Most of the artists we have, we're picking them up from down there and build. You know what it takes to build a brand? I have hundreds and hundreds of messages in a day from young artists that want to be given a chance. And with every day that passes, my heart gets dark towards this thing because of how ungrateful people are and how ungrateful the industry can be. You understand? So in terms of artists, I think we have a lot of artists right now that we want to focus on. But I am also getting in a space where the team that handles Headphone Music, because it's not J-Rocks that makes all the decisions, to a space where it's like, let's deal with what we have, and when we deliver these guys, we close shop. You understand? And what that does is that because of the environment, you close opportunities for young artists that need a space like that. You get what I mean? That's the type of space where we're at. So we're focusing on the artists that we have, and the politics of who's not releasing and who's getting we're focusing on those politics will never end everywhere you go. There's big artists. When I traveled to I'll be quick. Traveled to East Africa. I was having a conversation with one of the biggest groups, artists like in Africa, and they said after they signed their record label deal, they were put on the bench for 2 years, my guy.
You're just telling me Umusepela Chile took about a year.
2 years. Big artists, hot. The record label said, sit here while we focus on other people. Did they go on social media to make noise? They sat there. Big artists, they sat there. Because any room you go into, there's rules. The toilet is in the corner there. That's where the toilet is. You can't go and take a dump in the living room. There's a structure. So if people can't accept structure, then that's sad.
Let's go straight to, you want to say something?
Yeah, just the point to my fellow artists out there. Maybe you are signed. I'm sure you're getting it from me to mean a lot. So when you are in a record label, always play your part, and the rest will be done. That's what I can say.
I feel like we should have a conversation again about this, because I feel like there's some pending answers that I was wanting to get.
No, honestly speaking, I've just reached a point in my life where I don't need to impress anyone in any room. I am who I am. If people, industry people don't like me because I'm not everywhere with everyone. There are people that I know that I've been cool with for the longest time, and they know me. You understand? There's a lot of this stuff where in Zambia people pretend like they are not. They become what you are not just to accommodate people. That needs to stop. We're different individuals that are raised different, that socialize different. Some people are very social, some people are not social. I'm not that much of a people's person, so you won't find me with every person in the industry, but I play my part. But this thing of people creating scenarios and saying all these things about me that don't make sense, it needs to stop now. There should be some sort of respect that's put to the name, because I respect people, so I respect the same from everyone. You get what I mean? So before someone says something, try and think and just don't vomit things that don't make sense.